danço a hula hoop e o cha cha cha. Sou estrela no céu.
What is going on, guys? Ellis here. Welcome back to another video on the channel. So today, guys, I'm going to be showing you guys how you can create your very own concert in Fortnite Creative. So I'm going to be going over the main things that I use in my own concert. So if you guys have not seen my concert yet, make sure you guys go check it out because it's actually pretty insane. I'll leave a link in the description below, or a tag or something like that. So make sure you guys go check it out first, just so you guys can see what I have done for this. And yeah, I'm just going to be going over the main things I use for this. Used for my concert, and main tricks and tips that I used while making that concert. So anyway, before we get into this video, guys, make sure you guys use my supporter creator code LDOHDYT in the item shop next to me. Buy something because it does help me out a lot and it's super appreciated. Other than that though, make sure you guys subscribe, turn on notifications if you're new to the channel, because I'm uploading great content like this all the time and you don't want to miss it. So anyway, let's get right into this video. Alright guys, first thing I'm going to show you guys is this song that I created, and it's pretty trash by the way. So yeah, we're just going to be using this to visualize the music. So I'm just going to show you guys real quick just so you guys can get an idea of what we're working with. So yeah, it might even be off key, but I'm not really a music creator, so you can't really blame me for that. But anyway, this is what we're going to be visualizing to music in today's video, and I already have a little stage set up here, and yeah. Alright guys, so the first thing I'm going to do is make a new light that we can sync to music. I'm going to show you guys the lights that I use, and it's in the galleries, and if you search custom, it shows up right away. Customizable light gallery. This is the only lights you can actually use to sync to music, because these are the only lights that are able to be turned on and off during the game. So just add these to your quick bar because you'll probably want to use all of them. First one I'm going to use is just this one right here. We're going to place it down, and there we go. As you guys can see, we also have settings, and there's a lot of settings we can change. So the first thing I'm going to do is go to the triggers section, or channel section, sorry, and then I'm going to have it, we need to have it so it turns on and off on different channels. So you can also do toggle if you want to. However, if you use the same channel more than once in a small period of time, it usually ends up lagging. So if I wanted like a really fast strobe light, it's not really possible because you have to use the same trigger more than once in a small period of time, when it just lags really bad. So I recommend using two separate channels if you don't want that lag. It's kind of hard to explain, but it's just kind of how creative works. So I'm going to be using channel 2, the turn on, and then channel 3 for the turn off. Now what we can do is just customize our light how we want it. So I usually always do 10 brightness because that's just the best. I'm just going to change the color to red, and I'm also going to change the initial state to off, just so that when the event starts, all the lights aren't just on and then they'll be off, because we don't want the lights on before the event even starts. So, and I think that's all I'm gonna change, and so we're gonna press OK, and boom, we now have our light, and we can now control it with music. So we need to find an area on the song where we want this to like turn on and off or whatever. So I think what I'm gonna do is this part right here, because it's kind of like an interesting part of the song, so I feel like that'd be a good part of the song to visualize. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have it turn on at this point and then turn back off at this point. So to do this, we just need to go to our devices panel and get ourselves a trigger device. And we're just going to paste the trigger device here, and then go into the settings, and we want the light to turn on here. So we're going to make it transmit on channel 2. And I recommend turning off trigger sound just because it's pretty annoying. So, and we don't want to hear that during this song, so we'll just turn that off, and we should be good. Just press OK, and so now the light should turn on when the sequencer hits this point, but we want it to turn back off after this point. So we need to duplicate this trigger, and we're going to go into the settings of it, and then we're going to change this to channel 3, and that should be all we have to change. So now what will happen is when the sequencer goes past this trigger, it's going to turn on the lights, and then it's going to turn back off once it hits this trigger. So let's hop in a game and see if this works correctly. So that's pretty much it. As you guys saw, the light turned on when we wanted to, and it also turned back off. Now, it wasn't amazing, and we could probably do a better job, but just for this video, you guys basically get the point now on how this all works. By using triggers that can be activated by sequencers, you can just enable and disable different devices and kind of sync them to music. So let me show you a little bit more devices you guys can use with this. So this is the entire customizable light gallery. So if you guys are wondering how I did the fire, literally all I did was take this torch and I basically completely flattened, and boom, basically you can just put this under like a surface or something to make it look like it's like on fire. And you can turn these on and off during the game with triggers, just like the other lights. As you guys can see, we can have it turn on 2 and turn off on 3 if we want to. But yeah, that's pretty much how that works. And you can also change the colors of this if you want to, and all sorts of different stuff. So yeah. So now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to add this light onto their stage here. That looks about right. So now I'm going to show you guys how I created mechanism to bounce everybody up in the air. So go to your inventory and go to devices, and then grab yourself the air vent gallery, and all you need is the air vent from this. So just take the air vent gallery, and I'd recommend resizing it just so that it covers more area. And what I did is I just put it underneath the ground, but before we do that, we need to change the settings of it. So I'm going to change the knockout force to very high. It's up to you what you want to use for that, and then I recommend using 15 for the gust range. Turn off enable during phase, so turn this to none, so that way it's not on before the game starts. I'm going to tell you guys the difference between enable and activate. So enable basically makes it so that you keep bouncing on the air vent. So let me turn this back on just to show you guys. So if you just enable it, I'm just going to be constantly bouncing on it like this. We don't really want that. We just want one big bounce on the bass drop. So I'm just going to be using activate. So let's make our bass drop channel on channel 4 because we haven't used it yet. So now we're going to turn this back off to none. So now what will happen is if we transmit on channel 4, this is going to burst up into the air just once, causing everyone to fly up in the air. So now we just need to make sure that on the bass drop it transmits on channel 4. So we're going to copy this, and right here is the bass drop. So right here is the bass drop. Set the channel to 4, and now we should have our bass drop. So we're going to put this under the ground, and let's test it out real quick. And there you go, guys. On the bass drop, you went up in the air just like I did in my own concert. So that's pretty sick. I like that effect. Yeah, so you guys are probably getting the gist of how this all works now. By using different devices, you can sync visuals to music. Now, there's very limited visuals you guys can use, and all the visuals I use were pretty much just particle effects. So if you go to your particle section, we have loads of particles that we can enable and disable during the game. So you could use fireworks, you could use this lava particle, you can have lightning strikes and stuff like that. I'm sure pretty sick. And so let's just have fireworks turned on the bass drop. That'd be kind of cool. So now all we have to do is place the fireworks and make sure that it enables on the bass drop channel, which is channel 4. So everything we want to happen on the bass drop, we just have to have it enabled on channel 4 because it's all in the same time. And then we just need to make sure that it's disabled. Enabled during phase is turned to none. So now we can just take this and paste it wherever you want. So I'm just gonna paste loads of these. And there we go. All of these fireworks will turn on the bass drop now, which will be super sick. If you guys are wondering how I had water in my game, all I did was teleport people underneath the map right here, and so it just kind of seemed like I added water, but realistically it was just part of the map. So real quick, I'm going to show you guys how to teleport all players to a certain point. So there might be an easier way of doing this. This is the way I use, and I'm not entirely sure if it's the easiest. There might be an easier way, I just couldn't think of anything. Basically, I just used a mutator zone and paste this where people are going to be standing. So I'm just going to paste it right here. And I'm just going to make the width and depth a small little area right around here. Just like that. That works perfect. And basically what we want to do is we want to make sure that we can't allow weapon fire. We don't want this to actually affect the players at all. So we want to turn it back on. Make sure enabled on game start is turned to no. And then after you've done that, you can just go to the trigger section. And so basically we want this to enable when we want it to teleport. So let's have it enable on channel 4 again. So on the bass drop, we should teleport now. And then we also need to change on player entering zone to a new trigger. So let's just use channel 5. And now we can set a riff somewhere so people teleport to it when they transmit on channel 5. So we just need to go to devices, get our teleporter, and paste it here. And we want it to teleport to when receiving from on that channel we use, which is channel 5. So now when this mutator zone is enabled, everybody inside of it will be teleported to this area right here. Alright, so let's test this out. As you guys saw on the bass drop, I did teleport just like we said it, so that works good. However, the thing with the mutator zones is that you can only teleport 2 people at a time with them. So if you want to teleport more than 2 people, you have to have multiple mutator zones transmitting on different channels. So for example, I can make another one, and instead of using channel 5, you'd have to use channel 6. And then that would mean we'd also have to make another rift, which teleports on channel 6. And I'm sorry if this is any confusing to you guys. If you guys have any questions, make sure you guys leave them in the comment section below. That's basically the main basics for building your own concert. I'm not going to build a complete concert because I've already done one, and this song is pretty trash. One more thing I'm going to go over though is the lighting settings I used, just to make the event look way cooler than it actually was. And so let's go over that. So the camera filter, I used Comic. I actually hate the Comic filter, but the Comic filter actually had some really cool lighting, and so it was just good for the concert. So I'm going to change the light brightness. I changed the light brightness to 0. Light color, you can do whatever you want. I personally like magenta, but you guys can choose whatever you think looks cool. Fog thickness, I'd recommend around 60. 50 to 60 is probably good. Fog color, black, and boom, there's a huge difference. And for some video settings, it's actually too dark, so you may want to test that out to make sure it looks good, because some settings look worse than others. But for epic settings, this actually looks so much cooler. So let me guys show you the lighting now after we have added this effect. So anyway guys, as you guys can see, the lighting looks so much cooler with these settings enabled. And another thing you can actually do is change the time so it is like night out, which might help a little bit too. I don't think it makes a huge difference though, but as you guys can see, the lights look so much cooler with these effects on. Like, look at this beacon, it looks sick. Alright guys, so real quick, I'm gonna go into my concert that I created just to show you guys everything that I used and kind of just go over all of that stuff that's in there. So we're gonna go to our concert, which should be somewhere. Here it is, meme concert. And here we go guys, this is basically the entire event down here and all the controls. So here's the first song, and this is, what is it called? Coffin dance song right here. So I think it starts out with this one. After the coffin dance plays, I think it's crab rave next. So here's the crab rave part. Actually starts over here. It has this part real quick, and then after crab rave, it has that little transition, and then it goes into all star over here. If you guys are wondering how I did these lights right here, literally these are all different channels. So toggle on 19, 20, this just goes up and up and up and up. I use so many channels for this, and I'll show you guys all these channels down here. So here are literally, this is where these claps come in, and these are all different channels enabling all those lights individually. So yeah guys, if you guys have any questions, just let me know in the comment section below. I know this is quite a confusing video. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you guys found this helpful, make sure you guys like and subscribe, because this took me a lot of tries to kind of record this and make it actually make sense. So I hope it helped you guys. Hopefully you guys can come up with some cool concerts yourself. Make sure you guys like the video as well as subscribe if you're new to the channel, turn on notifications, and I'll see you guys in the next video.
Coming through sun, no niggas that I